All right, guys, welcome back to the Fox 5 Live Zone. Well, it's official. Vice President Harris making her selection with regard to her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Yeah, can you believe it? Believe it. Our own Fox Doug's later with more.
Governor Tim Walz is the pick. The Associated Press and others reporting the development. By all indications, Vice President Kamala Harris waited until the last minute to make her decision, something many Democrats saw coming.
What I've seen from the reporting and heard from folks in D.C. is that Tim Walz just warms your heart, and that the vetting team really enjoyed being with him. And he is responsible for a large amount of the vibes that are going on right now in the Kamala camp.
Walz is a progressive governor and labor union favorite who could also help Democrats protect Minnesota from any inroads from the Trump campaign. He appears to have narrowly edged out Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who, as a moderate, could have helped balance the ticket ideologically and perhaps delivered a key swing state in the process. Harris and her new running mate will now hit the road, traveling to 7 swing states in 5 days. The Trump campaign, meantime, is dispatching vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance to essentially shadow the new Democratic team in coming days to counter their pitch. And in the wake of a massive sell-off on Wall Street yesterday, expect a renewed focus on the economy.
All right, and we are now following breaking news where we are now putting up live video of Tim Walz actually arriving in Pennsylvania, where he will join Vice President Harris later this evening for their first combined campaign rally. Joining us now to discuss all things surrounding that is Dr. Suzanne Johnson-Cook, Democratic strategist extraordinaire, back here on the Live Zone. Dr. Cook, always good to see you, ma'am.
Always great to be seen and to be with you all the way live on the Live Zone.
I absolutely love it. Prior to me going to you, we just put up a live shot of the governor actually arriving in Pennsylvania. This is a big deal, knowing that he immediately was whisked from his home in Minnesota, hopped on that plane that you see right there, now arriving in Pennsylvania, where he will, in just about an hour or two, join the vice president, where they will then embark on a campaign tour. Your initial response to him being named her running mate?
Oh, I think he's the right one. I was on the Final Five last night, and I shared that we needed someone from the Midwest, #1, because the East and the West Coast were kind of covered. She's on the East Coast, she's from the West Coast, and you needed that Midwestern voice. And so what I've heard from him, I heard about him, is that he does warm your heart, not for just those who were vetting, but he is one that has been beloved. And he has a lieutenant governor who's a Native American, and so he's already done the diversity, equity, and inclusion piece. He's comfortable in his own skin, and he can deliver that Midwest and also some of those swing states. So right choice, right timing.
Yeah. And what do you think the response happens to be from the Republicans? Are they taking this well?
They're not taking anything done by the Democrats well, and they understand that it's going to be a fight. You don't just waltz in. It is a campaign, and what they're going to have to do is come and start focusing on the issues. They've been focusing on ethnicity and nationality, all fake news, but now they're going to have to talk to the issues, and the economy, as you said in your previous segment, is a major piece of one of the issues for the United States of America. In my other hat, I'm the CEO of the Global Black Women's Chamber of Commerce, and we are those who can provide jobs for our community. And so we need to make sure that there's money going into business ownership, but also into employment for the United States. And that's going to affect the economy. The stocks going up and down. People want some stabilization for the U.S., and that's going to be important. And I believe that Governor Walz is the right one. Now, Vice President candidate Walz is the right candidate for that.
Yeah, Dr. Cook, we are hearing the word radical time and time again by those that lean to the right. Your take on Tim Walz being radical?
The thing is, anything that's to the left of where the conservatives and Republicans are is going to be called radical. You have to find someone who's going to help with the common ground and the common denominator of the United States. And if you call that radical, call it radical. But what we need is a non-divisive United States. We are called the United States of America. And this week with the Olympics going, that's the one thing we found, was that there is a U.S. pride. We've got to keep that going. And so now it's not just a moment in history. It's now a movement. movement that has begun. And I believe the Harris Waltz ticket is going to be the one that seals this deal.
Yeah, we've already seen some merch actually being sold and or passed out throughout the nation's capital.
I have a doll already.
Hey, yes. I want to switch gears from Mr. Waltz to the actual now Democratic nominee, and that being Vice President Kamala Harris. We now know that she officially became the first African-American female nominee of a major party. I'm saying that to an African-American woman. What is it to you to know that those words just rolled right off of my tongue?
Oh, my goodness. You know, my ancestors are dancing in the streets, and all of the women here, both African-American and non-African-American women that I'm in association with, are thrilled. There's not even, you could put a capital T on the word thrilled. I am thrilled. I remember when I first worked for the White House under President Clinton as a White House fellow, and I walked on the White House lawn for the first time with my past, being able to walk in the front doors. And I thought about my ancestors who had to live in outhouses and work with outhouses, and here I was walking in the front door of the White House. That moment for me teared me up. But this moment, having the possibility of an African-American woman to be the leader, the head of the White House, not only thrills me, but it is our ancestors' dream. And should she be the one who is selected, even her inauguration will be around Martin Luther King's birthday. You know, we had the first Black woman Supreme Court justice right around the corner. So it is a moment that I've been able to witness, which my parents were not able to witness. I am just filled with pride. I believe she's a great candidate, and I will do everything within my power to help spread the news of her goodness, but also support all of the women who are organizing across this country, and they are organizing.
Yeah, obviously we have ventured into what's known as the honeymoon phase. There are a lot of smiles, including right on your face right now, surrounding this. The question I guess I need to pose is, what happens now? What happens next? What do they need to do in order to secure the election?
So it's organized, it's mobilized, it's actualized. So you've now got to put some, what they say, the pedal to the metal in the streets. So you've told what you can do. You've told that you're looking at the future and not just on the past laurels. You've said that you've got a platform and a vision for one America. Now you've got to demonstrate how that will happen. People want to see results. They want to see that there's going to be a return on their investment of their vote. And so many people died for us to have that right to vote. But now that we have that right and we're going to use it, what will you deliver? What will you deliver? And so this campaign has to show that we can deliver. We're not just only talk only, but just look at us now. Don't believe us? Just watch.
I think I heard that in a rap line before, Dr. Cook.
So, yeah.
Before I let you go, are you planning on joining the campaign trail as well? Are you going to lend your talents and services to the actual Harris and now Waltz campaign?
Well, if I'm invited, I certainly will. The media hits that I'm doing are consistently, contributing to the success of the campaign as well. If I'm invited, to be a part of the national campaign tour, I certainly will. I have time, I have energy, I've got skills, I've got personality, and so I'll be the right one to kind of help be the ambassador, literally the ambassador for this campaign. And so if I'm invited, I will certainly do so.
You forgot one thing, ma'am. You got lyrics as well. Lyrics.
All right, you got it. I need you to help me out. Help a sister out, as they say. Yes, but I'm ready, and I think so many people who surround me in all necks of the woods. I'm in the Hamptons for the summer, and it's usually a very conservative town, but people are like wearing their Kamala shirts, and it's amazing. So it's a wonderful time to be a part of history. I worked for the first African-American president of the United States, and hopefully I'll be part of the team for the second.
And as Dr. Cook puts it, they not like us. Dr. Susan Johnson Cook joining us right here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Ma'am, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
The pleasure was mine. Thank you for having me.